What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here. Okay, guys, this video, alright, this is my short channel, but this is a long video. Alright, because this is actually something that's an accumulation. That's something I've been waiting on. Alright. So this is basically Batman, like he says, Batman versus horror. This is a whole bunch of videos by Multiversal Wisdom, and these are all the Batman contingency plan videos he had of him versus horror characters. I don't think most of these, like, I haven't done. I think I've done a couple of them already. But suddenly hit me because he was doing so many. So I thought, what if I waited until Halloween and I put all the ones he does and compressed them? I put them all in a playlist and we're going to go through all of them all at once right here, right now. Alright. So these videos are all by Multiversal Wisdom. So let's get started here. This is basically everything he has so far of versus various horror characters. Alright, and go.
Contingency plan code, Nightmare.
Freddy Krueger.
Subject, Freddy Krueger. Originating as Frederick Charles Krueger, a gardener accused of horrific crimes against children, he was ultimately killed by a vengeful community.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the
But
remake,
death
it's
was
shit.
not the end. It was merely a transition to a spectral form of existence, where he wields control within the dream world.
And that's not the
Freddy's
first
primary
spectral
method
entity
of
that
attack
Batman
is
has
through
fought.
fear, exploiting his victims' nightmares to exert physical effects on their bodies in the real world. This blending of dream and reality allows him to terrify and control his victims, making him a formidable adversary.
Yep.
His grotesque appearance, including burnt skin and razor-sharp claws, is a psychological weapon in itself, designed to instill paralyzing fear.
He has a hard time against
However,
very powerful
Freddy's
lucid
strength
dreamers.
is also his vulnerability.
Ooh,
His
I like
existence
that.
is contingent upon the fear of his victims.
Yeah.
Without it, his ability to influence the dream world diminishes significantly.
Yeah.
Additionally, Krueger can be pulled into the real world, where he is susceptible to physical harm, as evidenced by instances where victims have inadvertently brought objects back from their dreams.
Yeah,
The
and
first
he can be
phase of my
temporarily
plan
killed
leverages
by
my own
them.
resistance to fear and psychological manipulation.
True. I remember that
Unlike
guy.
typical victims, my training and mental discipline allow me to maintain control even in extreme scenarios.
Well, yeah, he's
During
gonna
my
be a
regular
scarecrow a
controlled
lot.
micro-sleeps, brief strategic rests, I will enter Freddy's domain on my terms.
Dude,
Upon entering
this
the
would be
domain,
awesome.
the initial goal is to engage Freddy, maintaining contact long enough to bring him into the real world. To prepare mentally for this confrontation, simulations of various scenarios will be run, including those playing on my personal traumas. This preparation is crucial to withstand Freddy's psychological assaults. To ensure control over these interactions, I will be connected to a sophisticated monitoring system designed to track my vital signs and brain activity. This system is capable of delivering an adrenaline boost to forcibly wake me should the dream escalate dangerously. If Krueger makes contact during these moments, he will be dragged into the physical world. Once in the real world, the environment will be pre-arranged to exploit Freddy's known aversions and weaknesses. The room will be equipped with intense heat sources and UV lights to simulate the fire that led to his original demise,
He does have a problem with
exploiting his
fire.
traumatic memories. I will employ various weapons, including incendiary devices and thermite, to maintain psychological pressure and cause physical damage.
See, that's the thing. Freddy uses fear as a weapon, but so does Batman. Like, his whole thing is about using fear against other people. This is actually a pretty cool matchup. And the more I think about it, the more I think that this would be an intense, badass matchup.
Additionally, in the real world, I will subdue Krueger using a combination of sedatives, such as ketamine and halothane.
Yeah, then we ever
Drugs
thought
known
about
for their
capturing
effectiveness in rapid
Krueger in the
tranquilization.
real world? They always just kill him.
Understanding that Krueger can never truly be killed as long as he exists within the dream dimension, I will initiate a permanent containment protocol. This involves a precise neurosurgical procedure to lobotomize and deactivate significant portions of his prefrontal and cerebral cortex,
Damn,
reducing
that's
him
brutal.
to a state of minimal consciousness. Post-surgery, Krueger will be placed in a stasis field, a technology adapted from extraterrestrial equipment. This field is an additional security measure, inhibiting any possible regeneration or resurgence from Krueger, thus ensuring it keeps him indefinitely dormant.
He's not considering outside influence because Krueger just doesn't have these powers just because. He received these powers from 3 dream demons who wanted him as their little minion. So if they try to influence from the outside, this could cause problems for his containment protocol.
Lastly, while the decision to lobotomize and confine an entity indefinitely is fraught with ethical considerations,
Yeah.
it is justified in this case by the need
Yeah.
to prevent further loss of life.
And the fact he's a scumbag.
Kruger's unique status as a non-living, malevolent entity whose existence threatens innocent lives places him outside conventional moral considerations.
It's kind of a stretch.
This plan showcases the necessity of containment. If left unchecked, Kruger's powers could potentially extend to beings as formidable as Superman.
That's true.
While he may be the Man of Steel, one must wonder, are his dreams as resilient as his body?
No. That's true. It would
Contingency
be a
plan
problem.
code, Crystal Lake.
Ooh.
Subject, Jason Voorhees. Jason was
Jason-
born with severe deformities and developmental issues.
Jason
making him
is
a
actually
target for bullying
surprisingly
at Camp
easy to
Crystal Lake.
contain.
His tragic
Just
presumed
gotta get around his
drowning,
teleport ability.
neglected by inattentive camp counselors, ignited
Assholes.
his mother Pamela Voorhees' revenge against those she blamed for his fate. This cycle of violence began with her and continued with Jason, who emerged as a vengeful spirit avenging his own death and his mother's subsequent murder. His transformation into a relentless killer is deeply tied to his profound bond with his mother, whose death he witnessed, fueling his rage and vendetta against the living. This set the stage for his enduring legend as an unkillable, undead entity. His extraordinary abilities include superhuman strength,
Oh, yeah.
allowing him to wield heavy weapons with ease and perform feats of terrifying brutality, like crushing skulls and ripping hearts.
And ripping off
Jason's
heads,
remarkable
various other things.
regeneration adds to his legend.
Oh, Jason
healing
X.
from injuries
Yeah,
that
that's
would be fatal
be
to
a
any normal
problem.
being. His stealth and tracking skills make him a relentless pursuer of his victims, adding a psychological terror that enhances his physical intimidation.
Not to mention he
To
can
counter such a
teleport.
formidable foe, my
Oh,
contingency requires
that would be
a very
badass. Look at that. That is so
Given
cool.
Jason's supernatural resilience and regenerative capabilities, conventional weapons and tactics prove ineffective. Therefore, the first phase of the strategy involves immobilization. Using a plasma blade, a tool capable of cutting through almost any material.
It's a lightsaber.
I will
It's a
sever
lightsaber,
Jason's
dude.
limbs. This
Ooh.
method will incapacitate him, but only temporarily.
Okay, I am thinking of something right now. I might not be able to stop you for good, but I can stop you from hurting anyone else. That's why every morning I'm gonna cut off your limbs again. Maybe I'll cut out that pretty little tongue of yours, keep you from casting those pesky spells. And next I'll sharpen a pole, stick it up inside you and out your mouth, wear you on my back as a wriggling trophy for all to see. If you know what that's from, then you are a legend. You know what that's from. Those who know, those who don't know. Batman literally just proposed that same damn plan with Jason. What the fuck?
Given his ability to regenerate. Acknowledging his rapid healing, the second phase involves continuous containment and suppression of regeneration.
Yeah, cutting off his
Jason will
limbs
be
every day.
confined within a specially designed mini spacecraft equipped with automated systems. These systems will repeatedly sever any regenerating tissue, preventing him from reaching full physical capability. This relentless cycle will keep him in a perpetual state of incapacitation. The final measure, considering Jason's near-immortal nature, involves his removal from Earth entirely. The spacecraft will be launched directly into the sun. The
Jeez.
extreme conditions, immense heat and gravitational forces, should destroy even the most resilient supernatural entities. While this action may appear extreme, it is a calculated decision to eliminate a threat that has repeatedly proven to be unstoppable by any other means.
That's true.
However,
Containing Jason is very
understanding the
difficult.
supernatural elements at play with Jason
Various
Voorhees,
Jasons.
there remains the possibility of his return.
Yes.
Supernatural forces are often governed by rules that exceed our current understanding.
No, the one on the left is
As
not the
such,
real Jason. Oh wait, no,
these
that
being
is the real.
neutral rules
Wait a
that
second.
exceed.
Okay, wait, yeah, second one on the second one from the left, the one in the green right there with the bald head back there, the one right next to the bag man. That is not the real Jason. That is the imposter Jason, if I recall.
Exceed our current understanding. As such, while he is being neutralized, I will delve deeper into mystical and supernatural research to develop strategies that can permanently end his cycle of resurrection. In conclusion,
Trust me, guys.
the plan
Lots of
is
tried.
designed not only to stop Jason temporarily, but to study and potentially find a permanent solution to his supernatural existence. His repeated returns from apparent death have shown that we must think beyond conventional tactics and consider the mystical and extraordinary at play. Contingency
Which
plan
Batman
code,
often does.
Halloween.
This is a,
Subject.
basically
Michael Myers,
Jason, another
also
version.
known as the Shape. He is a
The
relentless
Shape,
and
yes.
enigmatic killer with a history shrouded in mystery. Born in Haddonfield, Illinois, Michael began his killing spree at the age of 6 when he murdered his sister Judith on Halloween night.
He's a little psychopath.
He was subsequently institutionalized at Smith's Grove Sanitarium, only to escape 15 years later and resume his murderous rampage, targeting his younger sister, Laurie Strode. Michael's abilities are exceptional, bordering on the supernatural.
Well, he has incredible
He possesses
physical
immense
strength, regeneration.
resilience, and an almost superhuman ability to withstand injuries
Yeah.
that would incapacitate or kill an ordinary person.
Yeah.
Bullets,
But he
knives,
can be
and
killed.
even explosions have failed to permanently stop him. He also exhibits a preternatural stealth, often appearing and disappearing without a trace,
Just like
which
Jason
makes him
does.
a master stalker. This
Teleporting. They can
uncanny endurance has
both
led
can
to
totally
numerous
teleport.
instances where authorities and bystanders prematurely declared him dead, only for him to rise again and continue his killing spree. His endurance and lack of a need for sustenance or rest suggest a supernatural element to his being,
Yeah.
although he does not fit the traditional mold of an undead entity.
No,
Michael's
he's
primary
something
motivation appears to be an inexplicable compulsion to kill, particularly targeting members of his own family. This obsession drives his relentless pursuit and leaves a trail of bodies in his wake. His weapon of choice is a large kitchen knife, but he has been known to use various other implements,
True.
including axes, hammers, and even his bare hands. This versatility in his killing methods underscores his resourcefulness and lethal intent. Additionally, his iconic appearance includes a pale, emotionless mask and dark coveralls, contributing to his eerie and menacing presence.
The mask is, in fact, a Captain Kirk mask that was purchased at a nearby costume shop and spray painted white during the first Halloween movie. He should have made
Dealing
note
with
of that.
Michael Myers requires a strategy that addresses both his physical capabilities and psychological drives. I would first need to exploit his psychological fixation on his family. Michael's primary targets are his family members, particularly Laurie Strode and her descendants. To lure him into a controlled environment, I will take one of his remaining family members into protective custody. This individual will be used as bait to draw Michael out,
Oh,
ensuring he is
dude,
led
I
into
want
a
to
carefully
see something
prepared
like
trap.
this. It would be so epic.
It's possible that Michael may appear in Gotham if one of his family members is here.
Dude,
making
he'll
this a
kill
plausible
everybody in his
scenario.
way to get to her,
Next,
though.
leveraging his
You don't
compulsion
bring-
for stealth is crucial.
You don't bring Michael Myers or Jason into a populated area. That's just giving him a lot of targets. I mean, it's not like he's going to focus on your bait and avoid everything else. No, he's going to cut a path through everything.
Michael's predatory nature relies heavily on stealth and surprise. By using motion detectors, pressure-sensitive floors, and heat-sensing cameras, I can track his movements and anticipate his attacks.
No, because he can totally teleport. I don't care what anybody says. He can teleport, so can Jason.
This surveillance system will negate his advantage of stealth, making it easier to capture him. Lastly, given Michael's superhuman resilience and strength, containment must be specialized. A reinforced cell designed for superhumans, made with materials that can withstand his strength and unusual durability, will be essential. The cell will be equipped with automated defenses, including electrified walls and tranquilizer darts to subdue him if he becomes violent. Additionally, the containment area will be monitored 24/7 to ensure no breach occurs. During Michael's containment, he will be subjected to thorough study to uncover the origins of his extraordinary resilience and abilities.
Isn't this some sort of like
Understanding what
demonic
drives and
curse or
empowers him
something?
is crucial to ensuring that we are prepared
I forget
for any
why.
future encounters and to potentially finding a way to neutralize his threat permanently. But the question remains, what kind of being is Michael Myers? And can we ever truly understand the depths of his malevolence?
No. That's the whole point.
Contingency plan code,
Yeah.
the suit.
The suit.
Subject, Slender Man. Recently, Gotham has seen a spike in
Slender Man.
disappearances, primarily among children. After analyzing witness statements and surveillance footage, I've identified the culprit, the Slender Man.
I would like to see Slender Man like to appear in a Batman thing, but to also interact with other villains, like the Joker or Scarecrow. I think that'd be pretty badass.
Once thought to be mere urban legend, he is a very real and significant threat. The Slender Man is a tall, faceless entity, often seen in a black suit with unnaturally long limbs or tentacles. His primary targets are children, though anyone can fall victim to his presence. He lurks in forests and abandoned places, inducing fear, disorientation, paranoia, and even insanity.
Yep.
Attempts to record or film him are usually unsuccessful due to his supernatural nature.
Actually, sometimes
His
that's the only way to see
teleportation
him.
ability is particularly dangerous,
Oh,
though
yeah.
it's believed to be nullified when he is being observed. Additionally, it's speculated that water might repel or harm him. Given the lack of reliable data, I've consulted experts in the mystic arts for more information.
Yeah,
While awaiting their
she
insights,
would be needed in a lot
I've
of these
developed a
things.
temporary contingency plan. First, I'll triangulate his potential locations and future targets based on the patterns of recent disappearances. Using advanced predictive algorithms, I'll identify areas where children are most at risk and increase surveillance and patrols in these zones. Second, exploiting his potential aversion to water is crucial. I'll deploy
I don't remember him
water-based
having an
traps and
aversion to
barriers
water.
around likely target areas and potential hiding spots.
Also, I'm wondering if he's going to take into account the proxies, because Slenderman sometimes takes people and he turns them into his minions or something like that. These people obey his will without question. And they often possess somewhat of a supernatural abilities in and of themselves. So I wonder if he'll cover that. I don't think so, though.
These could include high-pressure water jets and water-filled moats to deter his approach or trap him momentarily. Third, I'll utilize his weakness to observation. I'll equip patrol teams and strategic points with high-intensity floodlights and cameras. If someone maintains visual contact with the Slender Man, it may prevent him from teleporting, allowing for containment or escape. For direct confrontation, I'll employ weaponry made from nth metal, known for its magical disruption properties.
Good
This will
idea.
interfere with
It's
Slenderman's
also very
supernatural
durable.
abilities, providing a means to subdue or repel him effectively. Lastly, the files from a certain SCP Foundation might provide valuable intel and
Nice.
potential containment solutions for the
Yes.
Slender Man.
Yes, data on Peanut.
There might be an intricate link between the Slender Man and children that could reveal additional weaknesses. I need to deal with this entity as soon as possible. Too many lives are at stake.
True.
Contingency plan code, Dancing Clown. Subject, Pennywise. Pennywise, also
We
known
all
as It,
float down here.
is an ancient
We
primordial
all
entity
float.
that resurfaces every 27 years to terrorize the town of Derry, Maine. Originating
Actually, I'm thinking about he appears every 27 years, and the Creeper appears every 23 years. For every 23 years for 23 days it gets to eat, and it's the same thing with Pennywise. So, kind of interesting. It would be interesting if these two interact.
from a void outside the regions of space known as the Macroverse, it crashed to Earth millions of years ago, creating a deep crater that would become Derry. Its preferred form is Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Oh yeah, here's an interesting fun fact. There was actually a theory that somebody actually put out. I found it online. It says that Mary Poppins and Pennywise are the same species. They act in very, very similar ways, except their end goal is always different. Whereas Mary Poppins feeds off of the satisfaction and happiness that she brings to other people, to families in particular, whereas Pennywise prefers to feed on fear and flesh and blood. So it's kind of like a thing, but actually they have similar methods, the ability to create illusions, even alter reality to a certain extent, hypnotize people, and once they remove themselves from people's lives, people forget them, even people who interacted with them on a very personal level. Because like in the movie It, even all the kids, they faced that creature, but once they left Derry and started their own lives, they forgot Pennywise. They forgot all about it. In fact, they even at the end of the movie or movies or even the miniseries, they remark about how as they're leaving, the memories that they had of Pennywise, they're fading away. They're forgetting. And that's what happened at the end of Mary Poppins. At the end of the Mary Poppins movie, the whole family, they all forget her. She hasn't even really left yet. You know, they just all forget her. And in the movie Mary Poppins Returns, they remark like how did I forget it? They see her again, they remember her, and he's like, how did I completely forget about her? I totally forgot about her. You know, so that's what I'm saying. People are saying that they're the same species. Let's keep going.
But it is a shape-shifting creature that can transform into any person, animal, or object, often embodying the deepest fears of its victims. It feeds on the flesh and fear of its victims, preferring children due to their simpler, purer fears.
Once again,
it can create realistic and terrifying illusions, has telepathic abilities,
experience with Scarecrow helps,
fears, and can control minds, particularly of those with weaker wills.
That is really
weird. It can also use telekinesis to manipulate objects, and has invulnerability to conventional physical attacks. Its true form, the Deadlights, can drive humans insane or catatonic upon sight, similar to the penance stare of a Ghost Rider. Despite its immense power, it is bound to the town of Derry and becomes powerless when faced with individuals who do not fear it.
True.
The ritual of Chud, a psychic battle of wills, is one way to defeat it.
Yep.
Additionally, bullying or confronting it without fear has been speculated to weaken it significantly.
It does.
To effectively counter Pennywise, I must exploit its weaknesses and psychological vulnerabilities.
They should show at least some images of the Tim Curry one. Now, he was the original Pennywise. He was awesome.
On the terror of children. As an adult with a disciplined mind, I can confront it without succumbing to fear.
True.
This gives me a significant advantage.
To a point.
Using psychological conditioning, I can maintain composure and resist its influence. Next, we fight fire with fire. Pennywise uses fear and illusions as weapons, so we will do the same. Deploying fear gas can confuse and destabilize it.
If it affects it at all.
Experience fear for the first time.
It has experienced
fear. While it is unknown if fear gas can influence a cosmic horror significantly, there is nothing to lose. By subjecting Pennywise to fear-based attacks and illusions, it will become wary and more prone to mistakes. I will use advanced holographic technology and psychological warfare to create illusions that turn its own tactics against it.
This would be very interesting.
Destroying its physical form is ineffective, as it can regenerate.
Yes.
Instead, the key is to weaken it psychologically. By bullying or mocking Pennywise, I can undermine its confidence and power.
True.
This approach requires further study to fully understand its meaning, but preliminary intelligence suggests that ridicule and fearlessness can significantly weaken it. To neutralize the threat of the Deadlights, I will employ an automatic visor in my suit. This visor will activate and shield my eyes if I am captured momentarily and Pennywise decides to use the Deadlights. This ensures my mind remains intact and capable of fighting back. Finally, exploiting its geographical containment is crucial. Pennywise cannot leave Derry. Using containment fields, I can trap it within specific areas of the town, limiting its ability to escape or move freely. This allows us to control the battlefield and reduce collateral damage. In conclusion, despite its eldritch nature, careful planning and precise execution will ensure we can manage and ultimately defeat Pennywise. However, it's a little unreal to believe that a cosmic horror was casually beaten to submission by a group of kids.
You'd be surprised.
Might have been subjugated to some cosmic rules or constraints. Otherwise, its threat would have been on a whole other level. Contingency plan code, Child's Play.
I mean, it is a cosmic entity, but Pennywise, or it, is actually, in terms of cosmic entities, is not really that powerful. It's essentially a bug. So, yeah, I mean, compared to other higher cosmic entities like Cthulhu or something like that, it's just a bug, you know? Not that big of a deal, not to them. To us, it's a horror. To them, it's whatever.
Subject, Chucky.
Oh, God. This is, like, easy, dude.
It's
a doll! Come on!
He was a notorious serial killer dubbed the Lakeshore Strangler. Before his death, Ray used a voodoo ritual to transfer his soul into a good guy doll, thus beginning his undead existence as Chucky.
He's not exactly undead.
Body,
he's more like a
Chucky
golem.
Continued his murderous rampage, targeting those who wronged him and attempting to transfer his soul into a human body.
Until he found out he liked his doll body.
Over the years, Chucky has displayed a relentless determination, repeatedly returning from apparent destruction to continue his reign of terror.
Sometimes not due to his own efforts, due to other people being stupid.
which allows him to transfer his soul between vessels.
Even
and
multiply
split
it
his
now.
soul to possess multiple dolls simultaneously.
There you go.
His small size and unassuming appearance provide a tactical advantage, allowing him to ambush his victims. Despite his size, he retains the cunning and ruthlessness of his human form.
He's also pretty strong, too.
Chucky's primary weakness is his dependence on voodoo rituals and the specific good guy dolls to house his soul. To effectively counter Chucky, we must exploit his voodoo vulnerabilities and use strategic measures to neutralize his threat. First, I will leverage my resources to halt the production of the good guy dolls that Chucky uses to transfer his essence. This can be achieved by either purchasing the company that manufactures these dolls or driving it into bankruptcy. By cutting off his access to new vessels.
A little bit
we
of
can
Elon
move the
Musk right
spirit
there.
Next, I must acknowledge that Chucky has managed to duplicate himself through mystical means, inhabiting multiple dolls and even possessing humans.
Yes.
Therefore, a comprehensive witch hunt is necessary. I will investigate recent murders with characteristics matching Chucky's modus operandi, such as stabbings or other gruesome killings. However, Chucky's penchant for creative murders means that I cannot rely solely on this method.
That's true. He
For
likes to get
identifying
weird.
possessed humans, I will analyze psychological profiles and mannerisms that closely resemble Chucky's behavior. By gathering intelligence on these similar behaviors, I can pinpoint and neutralize the majority of Chucky's duplicates. In direct combat, I must be cautious. Chucky's small size makes him a difficult target, but manageable with precision and strategic planning.
Yeah, you get a grip on he ain't
Psychological
shit.
warfare will also play a key role. With multiple Chucky dolls, I can sow seeds of doubt and chaos among them by questioning who the original is. This classic tactic against duplicates can be highly effective in disrupting their cohesion.
That's true.
To ensure complete eradication,
The hell is
any
that from?
captured Chucky
Oh, that's
dolls
an
will be
exploded.
contained securely. Once a significant number of them are gathered, they will be sent to the sun for total obliteration, ensuring no chance of
Jesus.
resurrection.
Holy shit,
For
dude.
possessed humans, the situation is more complex.
Yeah.
But I will find a solution to extract Chucky's influence from
You
them.
might have to talk to Dr. Fate
Finally, I
about
need
that.
to look out for Chucky's family, his wife Tiffany, and their hybrid child, Glenn and Glenda.
Oh, wow. He actually differentiated the
biological
two of
process
them.
behind
That's
this
good.
is peculiar.
Yeah.
The child was born from two possessed dolls.
Yeah, that is
To
just
better
freaking
understand
weird.
this situation, I will consult experts in mysticism. This added complexity requires thorough investigation and insight.
Also, Glenn and Glenda have human bodies
Contingency
now,
plan code,
Yep.
or HOLERO.
so.
Subjects,
Oh, Lero.
Freddy Fazbear and the animatronics.
Or.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a seemingly innocent family restaurant, hides a dark and twisted secret. At the heart of this establishment are animatronics possessed by the souls of murdered children. These animatronics, Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Pirate Fox, each harbor a restless spirit seeking vengeance for the wrongs done to them.
Not to mention the other ones. That's not
Freddy
even counting the
Fazbear, the
spent
leader,
roster.
is a bear animatronic designed to entertain children. However, when night falls, he becomes a menacing force.
No, that's
Freddy and the
nightmare.
others exhibit erratic and hostile behavior, moving autonomously and targeting anyone they encounter. They possess
The animatronics
supernatural
do get a
strength
bit
and
quirky
resilience,
at night.
capable of withstanding significant damage. Their primary method of attack is through sheer physical force, using their animatronic bodies to overwhelm and capture their prey.
Which is weird, because
These
animatronics
animatronics
aren't
are more
that
than
strong
just
by
machines.
design.
They are haunted by the souls of children who met
The
tragic
puppet.
ends. The spirits inside them give these creatures a terrifying edge, driven by a need for revenge and justice for their untimely deaths. To neutralize them, I will first need to investigate and prepare. Understanding the origins of the animatronics and the events leading to the disappearance of the children is crucial. This involves examining police reports, eyewitness
You're
testimony.
going to have to learn to research and study Remnant, too. That's what keeps them going.
Intel will be gathered from various sources, including witnesses and survivors. Additionally, analyzing security footage from the pizzeria will also provide insights into the animatronics' behavior and patterns of movement. This will help in anticipating their actions and preparing countermeasures. For the confrontation, I will choose a strategic time to enter the
That'd be
pizzeria,
epic.
likely during the night when the animatronics are active, but the building is empty of civilians. Next, when
Burn.
fighting Freddy and the animatronics, I will rely on my martial arts skills to dodge and counter the animatronics' attacks. Each
That would be
animatronic
epic
has weak
as
points
shit.
in their
I
design,
would love it.
such as joints and control circuits, which
Yes.
can be targeted to disable them.
Yes, just hit them really
Utilizing the
hard.
environment to my advantage, I will set up traps and use the pizzeria's layout to outmaneuver Freddy and the others. Finally, post-neutralization, as mysticism is not my primary domain, I will bring the captured animatronics to a professional who can exorcise them and finally free the children's
Yeah,
souls from their
Constantine
pain.
would be a good choice.
But this is not over. These children were unjustly killed. Freeing their souls will not bring them back, but justice must be served. I will take on their vengeance to track down and hunt the one responsible for this atrocity.
Guess who's coming up
The killer
next?
will see vengeance personified, the night bringing doom. He will see Batman. Contingency plan code.
And
Purple
there
Guy.
he is.
Subject, William Afton. His story is a macabre tale of ambition, murder, and an insatiable hunger for immortality. Afton,
Oh, that came later.
one of the
What the
co-founders
hell?
of the Freddy Fazbear franchise alongside Henry Emily, began his descent into evil with the murder of Emily's daughter, setting off a series of tragic events. 5 years later, Afton struck again, this time claiming the lives of 5 children while disguised as an animatronic. These children's spirits
Yes,
possess
the
the
spring trap.
animatronics, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Golden Freddy.
Yeah, he didn't
biding their
mention
time
Golden
for
Freddy
revenge.
before.
Afton's gruesome legacy continued with the opening of Circus Baby's
Hmm.
Pizza World, a facade designed to lure and kill more children. His goal? To harness Remnant,
Oh, he
a
is
substance
talking.
allowing spirits to inhabit animatronics. In his quest for immortality, Afton's atrocities didn't go unpunished. Returning to the condemned Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, he met his fate inside a Spring Bonnie costume. The suit malfunctioned, merging with his body and trapping his spirit inside.
More like
30
impaling
years
him.
later, he re-emerged as Springtrap, a twisted fusion of man and machine. Despite being burned multiple times, Afton's remains survived, but most of his soul has been dragged to hell. Now his essence
Most of it.
persists as Glitchtrap, a digital manifestation, and potentially Burntrap, a grotesque remnant of his former self. With a history so deeply intertwined with murder and the supernatural, Afton's return is a grim inevitability. To
He
counteract
always
this,
comes
my
back.
contingency plan must be both exhaustive and effective. Firstly, Glitchtrap. As a digital copy of Afton's soul, Glitchtrap poses a unique threat. I've developed an algorithm capable of detecting
really
and
unique.
isolating
There are other
Glitchtrap's
guys who have been
digital
like
presence
this.
within any network. This algorithm will be deployed in all critical systems, ensuring no corner of the digital realm remains unchecked. Should Glitchtrap be detected, an immediate purge protocol will initiate, erasing all traces of his presence. Additionally, cyber forensic experts will continuously monitor for any anomalies, preventing any potential resurgence. Next, I need to confront Burntrap. Although the exact
Yeah.
nature of Burntrap's connection to Afton remains speculative, the similarities are too significant to ignore. Burntrap's physical form, much like Springtrap, is susceptible to extreme heat. Therefore, I have commissioned specialized incendiary devices designed to
grenades.
incinerate his animatronic shell at temperatures exceeding any previous attempts. These devices will be strategically placed in key locations where Burntrap is likely to appear. Moreover, I will be equipped with flamethrowers and advanced containment units to ensure Burntrap is permanently neutralized. The core of Afton's resilience lies in his ability to evade the afterlife. To address this, I've consulted with Etrigan
Well,
the
part
Demon,
of him anyway.
an ally with direct access to
Oh.
the realms of hell.
Oh, Etrigan.
Etrigan's
Oh,
unique
shit.
position allows him to alert the overseers of hell to Afton's repeated breaches of the natural order. Afton's spirit,
You
already
gonna tattle on him?
will face heightened vigilance and punishment in the afterlife. By informing Hell's guardians of Afton's transgressions, we can ensure his soul endures an intensified torment, deterring any future escapes. Let's see him come back from this. Additionally,
don't tempt him.
Afton's crimes extend beyond the known incidents. My investigation revealed his involvement in numerous other child murders, resulting in restless, vengeful spirits. By collaborating with mystics and spirit mediums, we can locate these spirits and provide them the peace they deserve. Freeing these souls
Yeah,
will
he's
weaken
also
Afton's
with
link
him.
to
It's
the
not
mortal
just
realm,
it's not just
diminishing his
defeating him.
chances
It's
of
also
returning.
cleanup.
In conclusion, this contingency plan is not just about neutralizing Afton. It's about ensuring he cannot continue his cycle of horror and suffering. Every aspect of his existence, digital or physical, will be monitored, contained, and destroyed. His soul will face an eternal retribution, and his victims will find the peace he denied them in life. William Afton's reign of terror ends here, permanently.
Dude.
Contingency Plan Code. Do
These
not
things
forget.
are creepy looking.
Subjects: the silence. During one of my regular patrols, I encountered something unprecedented. After a brief interaction, I felt an unsettling gap in my memory, as if something significant had been erased. Suspicion led me back to the Batcave, where I scrutinized every surveillance feed, city camera, and patrol recording. What I discovered raised my vigilance to a new level. Upon revisiting the scene, I saw another of these entities and recorded it. As a test, I scratched a mark on my suit. When I left and saw that mark, I became vigilant once again because I had forgotten why I made it. Reviewing the footage confirmed my theory. This is how I became aware of the Silence and decided to create this contingency plan. The Silence are a formidable race of aliens with a unique and dangerous ability. They can make people forget their presence as soon as they are out of sight. They have a sinister appearance, tall, humanoid, with elongated limbs and heads, sunken eyes, and slits for nostrils. Dressed in black suits, they blend into the shadows of human history, subtly influencing events without our knowledge. Their primary ability is memory manipulation. When you see a Silent, you can interact with them normally, but as soon as they move out of your line of sight, your memory of them is erased. This creates a gap, leaving you unaware of their existence. Additionally, they can release powerful electrical discharges capable of killing or incapacitating humans. Their silent influence has guided and manipulated humanity for centuries, acting behind the scenes with a hidden agenda. The Silents seem to have a link with the Doctor. Once again, that mysterious entity appears to be at the epicenter of everything. To counter their electrical charges, I initially considered an insulated suit. However, knowing that their attack is powerful enough to literally make a body explode, the suit might not be of great use. Therefore, a more comprehensive approach is required. This plan is not about how to defeat a Silent. Anyone aware of them can deal with them effectively. The real danger is forgetting them, which makes them untouchable.
Yeah.
This contingency plan ensures I don't forget their existence, enabling me to deal with them effectively. Firstly, body cameras will record continuously, capturing every encounter with a Silent. This footage will serve as a critical reminder when reviewed.
So they don't erase footage
Additionally,
of their
the Bat
being,
computer will
if you
utilize
record
advanced
them.
facial recognition software to detect Silents, sending alerts to my cowl's AR display whenever a Silent is nearby. My cowl will also incorporate AR technology to display real-time reminders and information about the Silents. Even if I forget the encounter, the AR display will provide constant prompts. Earpieces will also deliver auditory cues when a Silent is near, along with recorded messages explaining the threat. This ensures I remain aware even if visual memory fails. Furthermore, regularly reviewing the footage from body cameras is essential. The Bat computer will be programmed to prompt these reviews at specific intervals, ensuring any gaps in memory are filled by concrete evidence. Lastly, despite my wariness of mind readers, I might ask Martian Manhunter to implant a psychic trigger in my mind.
Ooh.
This trigger could react after looking away from a Silent, causing a specific thought or memory to surface.
Yeah, he could actually do that. He could actually... Martian Manhunter might be strong enough to prevent that memory loss.
I will ensure that I can counter the Silent's memory-erasing abilities. I cannot afford to let my guard down, for the Silents thrive in the shadows of our forgetfulness. This plan ensures that I remain aware, vigilant, and ready to confront them at every turn. Contingency Plan Code, Hell Priest. Subject, Pinhead. Originally known as Elliot Spencer, Pinhead was once a human, a soldier who fought in the trenches of World War I. The horrors he witnessed there broke his spirit, leaving him disillusioned with life. In his quest to feel anything again, he discovered the Lament configuration, a puzzle box designed to open a portal to another dimension, the realm of Leviathan.
Yeah.
This realm is not hell,
one
as
of
traditionally
several.
understood, but a place of extreme hedonism where pleasure and pain are indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Spencer was transformed
Creepy
into
ass
Pinhead,
shit.
a Cenobite, after merging with the soul of a Mayan prince. Now, he serves as Leviathan's architect of pain, summoned by those who solve the lament configuration.
Leviathan's favorite son,
Pinhead is
too.
incredibly resistant to physical damage, though not entirely immune.
Nope.
His tolerance for pain is impressive, turning it into sick pleasure, which only fuels his strength. He can summon chains tipped with hooks from thin air, using them to immobilize and torture his victims. These chains can also serve as a defense mechanism, shielding him from attacks. Additionally, Pinhead possesses an almost omniscient knowledge of his victims' psychological and emotional traumas, exploiting them to break their will. His torment
depends
can
on
be
the-
physical,
on the
but often
subject.
it is deeply emotional, forcing his victims to relive their worst moments endlessly. Understanding Pinhead is the first step. Despite his otherworldly origins, he is not a demon, and holy artifacts will have no effect on him. His strengths lie in his physical resilience, his psychological manipulation, and his ability to conjure and control those infernal chains. His weakness, however, may lie in his very essence. The box that summoned him can also potentially be used to banish him.
Yes, it can.
Moreover, Cenobites are known to offer deals. Pinhead may propose a bargain, exchanging a human sacrifice or an unwitting victim to secure freedom. However, my moral code forbids me of such acts. I refuse to trade innocent lives for my own. This principle is non-negotiable. Therefore, a direct confrontation is inevitable.
Yeah,
For the
you're gonna have to kick
contingency,
his ass.
it is imperative to review my own mental resilience. Pinhead's greatest strength is his ability to exploit fear and pain. While I am already conditioned for such events, it would be wise to over-prepare.
Yes.
I must take time to address
Remember,
any
he has a
potential
lot of
gaps in my
experience.
psyche that Pinhead might exploit. This preparation ensures that my mental fortitude remains unshakable. In terms of physical confrontation, preparation is key. I need a suit specifically designed to withstand Pinhead's chain attacks. This suit will be a fusion
Well, why
of
not the
durable
suit that
materials
he
and
used to
nth
fight
metal,
Superman?
known to disrupt supernatural elements.
Oh,
This combination will offer protection against his otherworldly chains and physical assaults. Additionally, an electromagnet can be employed to pin him down. Pinhead's body is embedded with numerous metal pins and piercings. A powerful electromagnet can attract these metal elements, immobilizing him. However, precision
might
and
just pull them
timing
out of
are
his face,
crucial,
though.
as the magnetism could also affect my equipment. I must ensure that my own suits are resistant to this magnetic force, or be prepared to activate the electromagnet remotely. Containing Pinhead permanently poses a challenge.
Yeah.
While the electromagnet can immobilize him temporarily, it's not a viable long-term solution. Although I could technically trap him indefinitely and cover the electricity bills for thousands of years, this approach is vulnerable to unforeseen events. Therefore, I must move him to a more secure and permanent containment solution. Cryogenics will be the solution for permanent containment. By
I
freezing
don't know
him,
if that would work
I
on
can
him,
ensure
though.
he remains inert and unable to cause further harm. It is essential to avoid unnecessary violence during the entire operation.
Also, you have to worry about, because
Inflicting pain
Leviathan
on
might
Pinhead
interfere
only makes him
itself.
stronger. Our approach must be calculated and
Yeah,
methodical,
stupid thing.
minimizing any actions that could inadvertently empower him. Against a foe whose pain is pleasure, and whose pleasure is
The
strength,
Batman who
a
laughs, oh my
comprehensive
god.
approach is essential to neutralize their twisted existence.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked up.
Contingency Plan Code, the Defiler. Subject, the Nun.
Dude,
Valak,
regular
also
nuns
known
are
as the
scary
Defiler,
enough,
the
okay?
Profane,
You ever
the
encounter a
Marquis of
nun
Snakes,
when they're
is
pissed?
no ordinary demon.
Trust me, that's
It
terrifying.
is an ancient and malevolent entity that has taken the form of a nun to deceive, torment, and destroy.
So, a regular
Originating in
nun.
the Dark Ages, Valak was summoned by an occultist duke who opened a gateway to hell within a Romanian abbey.
Why?
This demon's power is vast, beyond the understanding of most who encounter it. It manipulates reality, creates terrifying illusions, commands serpents, and possesses the bodies of the living. But most dangerously, Valak is a master of psychological warfare, exploiting fear, doubt, and the darkest parts of the human soul. Now Valak's presence looms over Gotham, drawn perhaps by the very object that has been entrusted to me, the
Oh,
Holy
really?
Grail.
Really?
My family's
Holy
legacy,
shit.
as I've recently discovered, is inextricably linked to this ancient artifact. The Wayne
Really?
bloodline, descended from the medieval knight Gawain, has been the protector of
Really?
the Grail for centuries,
I didn't
an
even know
obligation
that.
passed down through generations. The Grail, believed to be the vessel that held the blood of Christ, possesses miraculous powers, powers that have been sought by the likes of Ra's al Ghul for centuries. Valak's goal is clear,
It's Ra's
to
al
possess
Ghul.
the Grail and harness its divine power for evil,
Which
but
you
I am not
literally
without means to
cannot
counter
do.
this threat. My contingency plan against Valak involves a multi-layered strategy, leveraging both ancient knowledge and modern technology.
Get
First,
Etrigan. He can help.
I have acquired and crafted a set of tools specifically designed for this encounter. A blessed silver cross, forged with the rarest and purest of silver,
Good one.
consecrated in holy water from the sacred springs of Lourdes. This cross has been further enhanced with nth metal, known for its
Oh.
unique properties against supernatural beings.
Damn.
This cross, when wielded
This is-
against Valak,
this
will
is
serve as both
powerful.
a shield and a weapon,
Yeah, I can
capable
imagine
of
Batman
warding
beating
off
the
its advances
shit out
and
of him with
causing
that.
significant harm to its physical form. Next, an nth metal batarang, shaped with precision and blessed by a high-ranking Vatican exorcist. The nth metal's inherent properties will disrupt the demon's ethereal essence, severing its connection to our world with every strike. This weapon is designed to strike
Yeah, it
Valak
works.
at its core, weakening its hold on any host it may possess. The final and most critical component of this contingency is the Holy Grail itself. The Grail will play a pivotal role. It is more than just a relic. It is a weapon against the very forces of darkness. When I tested it, the water I poured from the Grail healed a gunshot wound that would have severely limited my mobility. This divine property can also be used to expel and banish Valak from our world.
Yep.
I will carry the Grail with me at all times, using it as both a shield and a sword in the battle to come.
Also his bait, because he'll
However,
come for you
I
if
am
you got
also
it.
aware that I might have to face others who seek the Grail for their own ends. Ra's al Ghul, the Merovingians, even those within Gotham's underworld who have caught wind of this artifact's power. Each poses a significant threat, but none as dangerous as Valak. The demon will stop at nothing to claim the Grail, and it will
Isn't
use
Ra's
every
al Ghul
trick,
also called the
every
demon?
manipulation, every dark power at its disposal to do so. This contingency plan is not just about survival, it is about ensuring that the Grail remains out of the hands of evil. But I am prepared. I have the tools, the knowledge, and the resolve to see this through. Valak may be ancient and powerful, but it will learn that the Wayne family's legacy is not to be trifled with. The Grail will remain protected, and Gotham will remain safe. By my hand, this demon will be sent back to the hell from which it came.
Damn. Okay, he's straight up
Contingency
spit.
Plan Code
There you
096. Subject, the Shy Guy.
Relatively
For
easy to
security
deal with if
measures,
you know what to do.
no images or photographs of SCP-096, the Shy Guy, will be shown in this recording. Instead, we'll use one of the few safe artistic depictions available. It's the only way we can avoid any casualties today. SCP-096 is an entity that presents an unparalleled threat, not just due to its immense strength or its relentless nature, but because the very act of looking at its face triggers its lethal response. Even a glimpse of its face, whether in person, in a photograph, or through video, will activate its attack mode.
Even a
The
pixel.
SCP Foundation
its
has
face
spent years trying
will
to
set it
contain
off.
and eliminate any digital or physical representation of this creature. But the truth is, they haven't been entirely successful. There's always the lingering threat that a stray image of SCP-096 remains somewhere on the internet or tucked away in an old photograph. SCP-096 is an anomaly driven by one thing, the desire to remain unseen. Its form is humanoid, unnaturally thin, with long, spindly arms and pale, bone-white skin. It stands approximately
Slender
2.38
man.
meters tall, but is deceptively
So
strong.
white Enderman.
Once someone has seen its face, SCP-096 will enter a state of extreme emotional distress, crying and wailing for several minutes. After this period, it will hunt down the person who viewed its face, no matter where they are in the world. Distance, obstacles, even the lack of visual or physical contact, none of it matters. SCP-096 will find you. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can kill it in this state, not bullets, not explosives. It will only return to its passive, docile state after its target is completely eradicated, leaving no trace of their existence. But what makes this entity even more terrifying is the fact that even indirect views, seeing it in a photograph, a reflection, or on video, trigger the same fatal reaction. Even a tiny pixel, unnoticed by the human eye, is enough to doom someone. The SCP Foundation tried various containment methods: sealed rooms, no visual monitoring, constant surveillance of cracks in its containment cell. But the real threat lies in images of SCP-096.
Yeah, there's the problem. It's relatively easy to contain.
Outside of
The
their
problem
control.
is, yeah.
Containment, though, that's where we need to be more aggressive. The SCP Foundation has theorized sending SCP-096 into space, leaving it adrift. But space is unpredictable. There are too many variables, too many ways it could return. I propose something more certain: the Phantom Zone. In this extra-dimensional space, physical laws as we know them don't apply. SCP-096's body would remain in an intangible state, unable to interact with the world.
But wouldn't it attack everybody else in the Phantom
no
Zone
one in
who
the
looks
real
at it,
world
though?
could accidentally view its face.
Because there are other people
The
there.
Phantom Zone is an eternal isolation, exactly what SCP-096 seeks. Humanity would be safe. SCP-096 would have the solitude it craves, and we would have neutralized the threat without having to destroy it. Second, there's the threat of digital images. The Foundation never fully explored what happens if an advanced AI sees SCP-096's face. We know
good question.
SCP-096 doesn't attack cameras or tools, but if an AI could analyze every corner of the internet, identifying and erasing any image of SCP-096 before a human could see it, we could mitigate the risk. This AI would need to work tirelessly, scanning millions of images at a rate far beyond human capability. But there's a risk. If SCP-096 can evolve, if it somehow begins to sense the digital presence of AI systems, then we'd be opening a dangerous new front. Imagine SCP-096 learning to navigate the digital world, hunting AI,
I
breaking
don't think it could do
systems,
that.
erasing data across the internet in its pursuit of vengeance. To mitigate that risk, I'd implement a dual-layer protocol. The AI will work alongside encrypted, non-perceptual analysis tools, preventing SCP-096 from understanding that it's even being targeted. In short, the AI doesn't see in the way we do.
That's why he doesn't
It
target
merely
them.
detects patterns and removes any dangerous trace of SCP-096 without interacting with its likeness directly. This ensures that the
Ooh,
AI
I just
is
started
never
thinking,
in danger of triggering an attack. SCP-096
Batman
is a
versus
creature
Am.
tormented by the fear of being seen, and with these plans, it would be left alone, for once. I will continue experimenting with ways to improve containment, but this might be our best shot. Contingency Plan Code, Betelgeuse. Subject, Beetlejuice. For security reasons, I will avoid mentioning his full name too many times, which could risk summoning him.
Yes.
From this point forward, I'll refer to him simply as Juice.
The juice
isn't your
The
standard
juice is
threat.
loose.
He's not from our world, but rather a spirit from
Beetlejuice
another world,
versus Orange
a
Juice.
chaotic dimension where
The guy we
reality
play
as we
games
know
with.
it is constantly bent, stretched, and shattered. Juice's history is marked by disorder and a complete disregard for the boundaries between life and death. He thrives on mischief and chaos, often exploiting the vulnerability of the living to manipulate them for his own amusement. His abilities
And
are
the dead,
varied
too.
and more dangerous than many realize.
That's true.
Juice
How did he become so damn
allowing him
powerful?
to transform into any creature or object at will. He can appear as a snake, a carnival ride, or even split his own body into multiple pieces. The versatility in his transformations is limited only by his imagination, which is vast and twisted.
But why?
Juice also has a talent for reality warping. He can alter his surroundings, break the laws of physics, and
True.
create bizarre, mind-bending scenarios out of thin air.
This was actually made
In addition to
before the new
reality
movie
warping,
came out, too.
He exhibits ghost-like abilities, intangibility, flight,
Flying.
invisibility, and possession.
Yep.
But what most people overlook is
He
his
can actually do
ability to
remote
manipulate
possession,
time.
too.
He can slow, freeze, or distort time itself in his pocket dimension. It's a subtle trick that he rarely uses, but it exists, and it gives him a tactical advantage few are prepared for. Another underappreciated aspect of Juice's capabilities is his psychology. He's driven by a need for attention and thrives on chaos and anarchy. He's a compulsive liar, narcissistic, and highly unpredictable.
True.
His primary motivation is amusement, but that doesn't make him less dangerous.
His
He's
primary
more like a
motivation
trickster
is to
god
come back
than
to
a typical
life.
ghost, and that unpredictability makes him a particularly volatile adversary. For a contingency, the first, most straightforward plan would be his name. If Juice ever crosses fully into the realm of the living, one failsafe remains in place. Saying his name 3 times. This banishes him back to the Netherworld. However, I can't rely solely on this. His manipulation skills are potent, and he could easily deceive someone into not using this technique, or worse, prevent them from speaking altogether.
Yeah.
That brings me to
He's
the
done that
second
before.
contingency. Nth metal suit. Known for
Yeah.
its properties against supernatural forces,
I wonder how
Nth
that would
metal
work
is
on
a
him.
rare material that I've employed before when dealing with mystical and otherworldly threats. This armor will not only allow me to physically combat Juice, but it will also protect me from his reality warping abilities and
Yes,
intangibility.
he can't affect
If
you
it comes
directly,
down to
but
a
he can
direct
affect things
confrontation,
around you.
This suit will provide the necessary protection and offensive capabilities. Finally, the third contingency. Ghostbusters technology.
Ooh,
Juice's ghostly nature is his greatest strength, but
Yes.
also his potential undoing.
that's
The
true.
Ghostbusters, an elite group of paranormal exterminators, have developed technology specifically designed to trap and neutralize ghosts. Their proton packs, ghost traps, and ecto-containment systems have proven effective against supernatural entities. While hiring
That's
them is an option,
true.
it's not reliable. I can't depend on outside help for something of this magnitude. I've already begun to analyze their equipment, and my
I wanna
interest
see
lies not
this.
in their services, but in their technology.
I want to see
If I
that.
can
I want to see
acquire or buy
Beetlejuice
the
versus the
blueprints to their
Ghostbusters. That'd be
proton packs and ghost traps,
epic.
I'll modify them for my own use, integrating them into my armor and the
Oh my
Batcave's
God, man.
defenses.
One of the things that's always limited the Ghostbusters tech is their lack of money and funding to really put. Like Egon could never put all the. He has the brilliant mind, but he never had all the resources and research to really make the shit he really wanted to make. So you imagine, with Batman's resources, what the Ghostbusters could do with their tech. It would be insane.
The proton streams they use, essentially ionizing streams of protons and neutrons, could disrupt the ectoplasmic structure of a being like Juice.
That's the point.
I will use this tech to immobilize him long enough to send him back or contain him. Juice is not just a ghost. He's an entity that thrives on disorder and feeds off the havoc he creates. Confronting him will be challenging, but not impossible. With the aforementioned tactics, I'm prepared to neutralize him. But I'll remain vigilant. Beetlejuice is no ordinary foe, and his unpredictability will always be a factor. No matter how prepared I am, I can never underestimate a being that thrives on the unexpected.
Yeah. He's basically a ghost version of
Plan
Joker.
code, don't blink.
Oh, these things are creepy
Subject,
as fuck.
Weeping Angels. This is the second known subject whose visual representation must be limited for security reasons. The entity in question is known as the Weeping Angel. To avoid any unintended consequences, I'll rely on an artistic representation rather than an exact image. The Weeping Angels are quantum-locked beings that resemble stone statues when observed. Originating from an ancient point in time, they are as old as the universe itself. Their primary ability is to send their victims back in time with a mere touch, feeding off the temporal energy of the lives those individuals would have lived. They move incredibly fast when unobserved, but become immobile stone when seen, a phenomenon known as quantum locking. One critical aspect of their existence is that the image of an angel becomes itself an angel. This means any perfect visual replication, a photograph or video recording, can become a new weeping angel over time.
Oh, shit.
However, this doesn't apply to hand-drawn images or artistic interpretations, which lack the precise quantum signature needed for manifestation. Their lesser-known abilities include manipulating electrical systems and inducing hallucinations. They can also communicate telepathically and have been known to use images as conduits for their presence. They are more than mere statues. They are predators that hunt by exploiting the limitations of sentient observation. The most well-known method to halt a weeping angel is straightforward: don't blink. As long as they are observed by a sentient being, they remain quantum locked and cannot move. This, however, is impractical for long-term containment due to human limitations like blinking and fatigue.
Those who
Their
know,
history
know.
with the Doctor, a rogue Time Lord known for his unpredictability, has provided valuable insights, but also complications. His interactions with them have often escalated situations rather than contained them. Drawing inspiration from the Judoon's high-security extraterrestrial facility, where they successfully incarcerated a weeping angel, I've considered
Really?
several theoretical methods. One of them is temporal stabilization fields. By disrupting their ability to manipulate time, I can render them unable to feed off temporal energy. This would involve technology capable of stabilizing temporal fields, an area that requires further research but holds promise. In addition, the use of physical restraints and barriers could be effective. Constructing a cell with materials impervious to their abilities, such as mirrors or reflective surfaces, could create a feedback loop of observation, effectively trapping them. However, these methods have limitations and risks. Therefore, I've devised a potential, yet effective measure. By utilizing sentient robotic observers modeled after Ace, the Bat-Hound robot, I can maintain constant, reliable observation without endangering human lives. These robotic canines would possess advanced artificial intelligence, granting them the sentience required to quantum lock the angels. This would require thorough research, extensive knowledge, and
K9.
substantial resources to reach at least the level of K9, the Doctor's trusty artificial dog. Equipped with multiple emergency energy sources and self-sustaining power units, they would continue functioning even in unforeseen circumstances, preventing any lapse in observation.
Hopefully.
Recognizing these robotic dogs as sentient beings, it's imperative to treat them ethically. They won't be mere tools, but partners in containment. They can operate in shifts, ensuring the angel is always observed while enjoying downtime to engage in activities that provide them fulfillment, be it playing fetch or more advanced tasks suited to their capabilities. For implementation, I'll adapt the existing blueprints of Ace the Bat-Hound robot. By building upon a trusted design, I ensure efficiency and reliability.
True.
The plan involves deploying these robotic observers to locate and immobilize a weeping angel. Once quantum locked, they will maintain visual contact during transportation to a specially designed containment cell. There, the robots will continue their observation shifts indefinitely. In closing, while the weeping angels pose a significant threat, their weaknesses can be exploited through meticulous planning and innovative strategies. Yet, the Doctor remains a wild card. His tendency to attract trouble wherever he goes is a constant source of frustration.
Especially recently.
Frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if one day all records of him vanished from my database due to his meddling. And if that happens, I suppose I wouldn't even remember to be annoyed about it.
Oh, that's a positive, I
Contingency
guess.
plan code, Scream.
This is literally just
Subject,
a guy, okay? He's just a
Ghostface.
guy.
A name that echoes fear through the shadows of Woodsboro and beyond. To understand the threat we face, one must delve into the dark origins and multifaceted abilities of this elusive predator. Ghostface is not a singular entity, but a mantle worn by various individuals, each driven by their own twisted motivations.
It's just a guy.
The legacy of Ghostface traces back to Maureen Prescott, whose tragic history set the stage for decades of terror. Maureen Prescott, an actress whose career was marred by exploitation and abuse, became the catalyst for a series of
Yeah,
heinous
narrowing it
acts.
down a whole lot there,
Her
pal.
life
That's
was a
a lot of
tapestry of
actresses.
ambition, betrayal, and unimaginable trauma. She was coerced into compromising situations by powerful figures in Hollywood, leading to the birth of her son, Roman Bridger. Roman, feeling abandoned and enraged by his mother's rejection, orchestrated her demise through his protege, Billy Loomis. This act of violence ignited the Ghostface legacy, a persona that symbolizes vengeance, obsession, and the darkest corners of the human psyche. Ghostface possesses a chilling array of abilities that make each incarnation a difficult adversary. Beyond the iconic mask and voice modulator, Ghostface is a master of psychological manipulation. Each killer uses sophisticated technology to stalk and terrorize their victims, employing tactics such as phone calls, text messages, and digital surveillance to instill fear and control. Their knowledge of forensic science allows them to cover their tracks meticulously, making each attack appear spontaneous, yet eerily calculated. Their other abilities include their proficiency in disguise and disguise maintenance, enabling them to blend seamlessly into any environment or situation, and their expertise in escape artistry, ensuring they can vanish without a trace after each encounter. Furthermore, Ghostface exhibits an uncanny understanding of human behavior, exploiting weaknesses and pushing victims to the brink of madness before the final act. This psychological warfare is coupled with physical prowess.
Scary
While not
movies.
superhuman, Ghostface is agile, resourceful, and relentless, often turning ordinary objects into lethal weapons. Their adaptability means that each new Ghostface brings a unique approach to the terror they inflict, making them unpredictable and ever-evolving threats. This case demands more than mere confrontation. It requires an intricate investigation intertwined with relentless surveillance. The essence of Ghostface lies in their anonymity and personal vendettas, making each iteration a puzzle of motives and methods. To neutralize this threat, we must first dismantle the mythos that empowers them. My strategy begins with a comprehensive analysis of past Ghostface activities, identifying patterns and connections to Maureen Prescott's legacy. By mapping the psychological profiles of each perpetrator, I can anticipate potential motivations and predict future targets. Advanced algorithms will sift through data from previous incidents, correlating variables that may indicate the emergence of a new Ghostface. This proactive approach leverages both technology and human intelligence, ensuring no stone is left unturned. Surveillance will be intensified in areas linked to the original Ghostface incidents, utilizing drones, hidden cameras, and cyber monitoring to track suspicious activities. Any individual displaying
he could definitely
signs of
out-tech
obsession,
any Ghostface.
vengeance, or instability will be flagged for immediate intervention. Moreover, containment protocols will be established to ensure that any evidence of Ghostface's activities is eradicated, preventing the perpetuation of their legend. This
there you
includes
go.
secure data
So he's
destruction,
basically he's fighting an
dismantling
idea.
of communication networks used by perpetrators, and thorough cleanup operations at crime scenes to eliminate any traces that could inspire future acts. Finally, my ultimate goal is not just to stop them, but to heal the wounds they inflict. By addressing the root causes of their motivations, trauma, rejection, and obsession, I aim to break the cycle of vengeance that fuels their actions. Normal humans, devoid of superpowers, can often embody the most terrifying forms of evil. Ghostface is a testament to this reality. Any remnants of their existence must be obliterated, their myth shattered to ensure it never rekindles. While complete eradication may be impossible, every effort will be made to minimize their influence and prevent the resurgence of such malevolence. This is not merely a mission, it is a relentless pursuit of justice to protect the innocent and preserve the fragile peace we strive to maintain. Contingency Plan Code, Nocturne.
And that's
Subject,
from
Dracula.
the freaking
The name
Batman vs.
alone
Dracula
evokes
movie.
centuries of fear and legend. Originating as Vlad Tepes, the infamous Vlad the Impaler of
Tepesh.
Transylvania, he was a prince known for his brutal tactics in war, impaling his enemies as a warning to others. But his
he's
thirst
actually
for
well
power
regarded
led
in
him down a
Transylvania.
darker path. Through unholy rituals
legends
and a
say.
pact with malevolent forces, he transformed himself into the first vampire, the progenitor of an entire race of the undead. Over the ages, he's amassed abilities that go beyond mere folklore. He casts no reflection in mirrors, moves with supernatural speed, and possesses strength that surpasses any mortal. His command over the creatures of
any
the night is impressive.
non-superpowered mortal,
Bats,
let's put that way.
wolves, and rats heed his call without question. He can shapeshift into mist, a bat, or a wolf, making him elusive and unpredictable. Mind control is another weapon in his arsenal, allowing him to bend the wills of the weak and even challenge the strong-minded. His bite doesn't just drain blood, it enslaves souls, turning victims into loyal minions bound to his will. I've faced
Also,
him multiple
vampires.
times, each encounter more challenging than the last. He's relentless, not just because of his supernatural origins, but because he believes he's entitled to reclaim what he perceives as his, the mantle of the Bat. But there's only room for one Bat in Gotham, and that's
Damn
me.
right.
I've proven it before.
How many
and I'll
times do
prove
we
it
have to
again.
teach you this lesson, old
This
man?
time, I'm more prepared than ever. I'll ensure he doesn't make it past Halloween. In previous battles, I've employed garlic-infused gas and silver-dipped batarangs. Yet his speed made it nearly impossible to land a decisive blow. Only sunlight forced him to retreat, but that's a limited resource in Gotham's perpetual night. He possesses the ability to transform innocents into his thralls, spreading his influence like a plague. I developed a cure for
Oh
the
yeah, in the
afflicted,
movie, he turned
but it was
Penguin into his
ineffective on
Renfield.
him, perhaps because he's Patient Zero, the original source. It's clear now that he cannot be saved. The undead must be eradicated. With the luxury of preparation time, I've enhanced my arsenal. I've devised new strategies and gadgets specifically designed to exploit his weaknesses. My primary asset will be the UV cape. Dracula may be fast,
Nice.
but light is faster. This cape
True.
emits concentrated ultraviolet rays, simulating sunlight to weaken him
That's actually
instantly
kind
upon
of, it looks
contact.
corny as hell,
For
but it would
situations
work.
requiring more power, I've installed multiple UV generators throughout the Batcave. Should he dare to invade my domain again, he'll find himself trapped in a fortress of searing light. The home advantage is mine, and I'll expand
Yeah.
this technology to cover every
If he's
shadowed
smart,
corner.
he won't challenge you in the
I've
back
also
again.
adapted
He'll
my
wait for you
arsenal of
outside.
solar gadgets, originally developed to counter Kryptonians, to combat vampiric threats.
Oh yeah, that's
Solar
right. Red
batarangs
Sun.
equipped with miniaturized sun cores can deliver devastating blows. The versatility of these gadgets is a force multiplier. Different spectrums of solar energy can be employed. Red solar energy affects Kryptonians like Superman, but concentrated UV light is the key against vampires. Inspired by my shark repellent, I've formulated a new
Shark
vampire
repellent, yeah.
with garlic as
Yes.
its primary ingredient, enhanced with silver
Shark repellent, I
nanoparticles.
fucking love that.
It can be sprayed on my suit for
Oh,
personal
my God.
protection,
Oh.
applied to safeguard potential targets, or used to coat weapons. Its adaptability makes it an invaluable tool. Whether it's a stealth mission or open combat, this repellent adds an extra layer of security. However, gadgets alone won't suffice. I need to prepare a large batch of antidote, anticipating the spread of vampiric infections. Dracula has a penchant for turning those who are already dangerous into his pawns. The Joker, for instance. I've
Oh,
already
yeah.
experienced
That
what
was
a
a
vampire
creepy-ass
Joker can
one.
do, and I won't let a similar nightmare unfold. I must be vigilant, ensuring that individuals like him are protected or neutralized before they can be turned. No matter how many times Dracula returns, I will be
Oh
ready.
yeah.
Dracula may lurk in the shadows, but he forgets those shadows are mine. He may command the creatures of
I am
darkness,
the night.
but I am the darkness. I am the night. I am Batman.
Dude. Tooting his own horn right there.
Contingency plan code, anathema,
Oh, God.
subject, Annabelle.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. The damn Annabelle movies are not scary because they go too hard. All right, it's a doll, but the doll is intentionally made to be scary looking, which is stupid. It takes away all the surprise and suspense. You want to see a creepy ass doll? You need to look at something like from the Twilight Zone, Talking Tina. It's just a regular looking doll, but that thing will freaking kill you. That's what made it terrifying because it was just a regular doll, a doll that I expect, or even the original Chucky. Chucky looked like a regular doll. You know, he doesn't have any of his scare factor because he doesn't look like a regular doll. He's all stitched up and everything. He's a purposely ugly, creepy doll. The same thing with Annabelle. Like, it's not scary because it doesn't have any surprise, no punch or anything. No touch of the uncanny valley. You know, like your what part of your mind is telling you it's a harmless doll, while the other mind is warning you that this thing is dangerous. You know, they conflict, and that causes some of the terror right there. But this thing is it's just dumb. I can't stand these stupid things anymore. They go too far to try to be scary.
This is a name that masks a profound malevolence. On the surface, an innocuous doll, but in reality, a vessel for the demon Malthus.
By the
In
way,
the
there's a real
1970s,
Annabelle doll
two
locked up
nurses
in a
came into
case.
possession
It
of
actually
this
says,
doll.
"Do not open."
Shortly after, unexplainable phenomena ensued. The doll would move independently, appearing in different rooms without any logical explanation. Notes scribbled on parchment paper they didn't own, bearing the words "help me" or "help us," would materialize. A man suffered inexplicable scratches, physical manifestations of an unseen attack. Malthus isn't confined to simple parlor tricks. Its abilities are extensive and insidious. It manipulates the physical environment. Objects levitate, doors slam, shadows warp. It infiltrates the mind, inducing nightmares so vivid they blur the line between reality and illusion. Lesser known is its capacity to mimic voices of trusted individuals, sowing seeds of doubt and fear. This demon thrives on recognition. Acknowledgement of its existence strengthens its hold. Interacting with the doll can serve as an invitation, a gateway for Malthus to latch
See,
onto
look at
one's
that
soul.
thing. It's so dumb.
The Warrens, experienced demonologists, understood this peril. They secured the doll within a blessed glass case, warning never to open it or even gaze upon it directly.
Why
If
put it in a
Annabelle
glass
remains
case then?
confined, the approach is methodical. I'll submerge the entire case in a sanctified fluid, holy water enriched with sacred relics and blessed by powerful authorities. The
Damn.
Holy Grail in my possession will serve as a catalyst, amplifying
Oh,
the
yeah.
purification process.
Yeah,
This immersion will
that'll
sever
do it.
Malthus's connection to the doll, trapping the demon indefinitely within layers of sanctity. Should the doll be uncontained, the threat escalates. Direct engagement becomes unavoidable. I'll deploy nth metal weaponry. Its unique properties disrupt and nullify supernatural energies. These tools will
Yep.
be coated with a compound of holy water, silver shavings, and sanctified oils, ensuring maximum
Yep.
efficacy against demonic
Holy
entities.
water, silver chain, scarlet clothes,
Fire will
white
serve
oak,
as both
the
a weapon
wakes.
and a purifier.
Where'd that come from?
Flamethrowers will cleanse any area tainted by Malthus's presence. Incendiary devices loaded with holy incense will purify the environment post-engagement, eliminating
That'll do it.
residual malevolent energies. Years collaborating with occult specialists like Constantine have expanded my arsenal. I've acquired arcane knowledge and artifacts, sigils, talismans, and incantations that can bind, repel, or trap entities like Malthus. I'll establish containment fields inscribed with protective
really does
symbols
prepare
from
for
ancient
everything.
texts, creating barriers the demon cannot cross. Lastly, to anyone listening to this recording, heed my warning. Do not look at the doll for too long. It might be the last thing you ever see. But it's worth noting the peculiar tendencies of such demons. Malthus chooses the guise of a child's doll to exploit innocence and vulnerability. Another known demonic subject,
He's a dick.
Valak, assumes the form of a nun, perverting symbols
Yeah.
of faith. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if the next entity manifests as a haunted roll of toilet paper, literally trying to scare the crap out of someone.
Like, oh, Batman got jokes.
Contingency plan code. Pop.
Oh, the Babadook.
Subject, the Babadook.
The Babadook.
It is a demon born from grief itself. Originating from a mysterious pop-up book titled Mr. Babadook, this entity attaches itself to those suffering profound loss. It manifests as a tall figure clad in a black coat and top hat, with elongated claw-like fingers. Its origins are
Weird ass
unclear,
face.
but evidence suggests it dates back to at least the Victorian era, possibly earlier. This creature thrives in shadows, using them as portals to teleport effortlessly from one place to another. It wields telekinesis with alarming proficiency, capable of moving objects as large as furniture with mere thought. More insidiously, it can shapeshift, assuming the appearance of loved ones or blending into mundane objects, though its mimicry is imperfect. The Babadook feeds on fear and grief, amplifying these emotions to weaken its victims psychologically before attempting possession or driving them to commit acts of violence. It's not just a physical threat, but a psychological one, exploiting the
They
deepest
always are.
vulnerabilities of the human psyche. Its connection to the pop-up book may be a conduit or perhaps a binding mechanism, limiting or focusing its power through the written word.
I forget, they did manage to
Additionally,
contain
it
it
is
in the
susceptible
movie.
to certain countermeasures rooted in light and sanctity. While it cannot be killed in the traditional sense, it can be repelled or banished, though such actions are temporary. Its demonic nature makes it resilient, but not invulnerable. To confront him, I must first eliminate its ability to navigate through shadows. I'll deploy high-intensity light generators throughout Gotham, starting with modifications to the existing bat signal. By amplifying its luminosity, it will serve not just as a beacon, but as a weapon, flooding areas with light to disrupt the Babadook's shadow-based teleportation. Portable versions will be integrated into my suit and gadgets, emitting bursts of intense light to keep it off balance.
It's
and
difficult to
contained.
eliminate shadows. Because the brighter the light,
Understanding
the
that it
deeper the
feeds on fear
shadows.
and grief,
And
I
any
must
little
maintain
thing
absolute
can cast a
emotional
shadow.
control. Psychological
usual.
conditioning will be intensified. Additionally, Given its demonic nature, traditional weaponry is ineffective. Micro-dispersal units filled with holy water will be installed in batarangs, drones, and smoke pellets, releasing a fine mist upon impact. This
And
should
more
deal
nth
some
metal.
damage, allowing for strategic advantage. Its telekinetic abilities pose a significant threat. To counteract this, I'll deploy decoy objects rigged with countermeasures. This will exploit its reliance on telekinesis, turning its strength into a vulnerability. Shapeshifting complicates identification. I'll utilize biosignature scanners calibrated to detect anomalies inconsistent with human physiology. Any entity failing to register correctly will be treated as hostile. Communication codes with allies will be updated daily, ensuring that any imposter can be quickly identified through mismatched intel. Finally, the pop-up book appears to be a focal point of its power. Securing and containing it within a sanctified vault could limit the Babadook's ability to manifest.
That would
Research
help.
into ancient texts and consultation with experts in demonology might reveal a method to sever its connection to our world, or at least bind it indefinitely. In sum, confronting the Babadook requires a multifaceted approach: technological innovation, psychological resilience, and esoteric knowledge. This entity is more than a mere adversary. It's a manifestation of humanity's deepest pains. But it can be outmaneuvered, outsmarted.
But it will outsmart your
Contingency
outsmarting.
Plan Code 049.
And there he is. The good
Plague
doctor.
or SCP-049, is an entity resembling a medieval physician, but his robes and mask aren't mere
Plague
attire.
doctor, dude. It's called
They're
the plague
part of his
doctor.
anatomy, an exoskeleton grown from his body. First
Gross.
documented in Montauban, France during World
So
War
you're
II,
telling me he's
he was
been
found
naked
amidst a
this whole
scene of
time?
horror, reanimated corpses he claimed to have cured. He believes all living beings are afflicted with a disease he calls the pestilence. His mission is singular: to eradicate it. His touch is lethal. Any living creature he contacts dies instantly, only to rise again as a
Not
mindless, aggressive
everyone.
puppet under his control, designated SCP-049-2. These reanimated beings pose a significant threat, attacking any life form they encounter. SCP-049 is highly intelligent, possessing extensive knowledge of medicine and human anatomy. He speaks multiple languages, favoring French. His demeanor is courteous, often engaging in polite conversation, which can be disarming. He carries a bag from which he can produce an endless array of surgical tools.
He pulls it out of his
defying
body,
spatial
too.
limitations,
The bag.
a possible link to an extra-dimensional space. Notably, he's shown
Possibly.
the ability to perform complex surgical procedures with precision surpassing even the most skilled surgeons. However, his cures result in grotesque abominations devoid of free will. His frustration surfaces when his work is questioned or hindered, indicating potential volatility. SCP-049's concept of the pestilence is ambiguous. I theorize it's linked either to the emotional spectrum or to free will itself. If it's emotions, perhaps members of the Lantern Corps could engage him in rational discourse. If it's free will, containment becomes more complex but still feasible. Given his rare
Yeah, I
moments of
mean, he doesn't
frustration,
have any
stringent
abilities
contingencies are
beyond,
necessary.
what he does.
Firstly,
very
understanding that
physical, a very physical
SCP-049 is
entity.
generally non-hostile unless provoked or when he identifies someone as diseased. Providing him with resources for his research could keep him occupied and potentially yield beneficial medical advancements. After all, with his inclusion in my database, I can count on one hand the individuals capable of curing cancer. Lex Luthor is among them, though he prefers building battle armors with radioactive rocks to fight a certain alien from Smallville. Containment must be absolute. He should be
Bird.
secured in a cell forged from the hardest metals, promethium alloy reinforced with a nanoweave lattice. While impervious to
Dude.
bullets, his physical strength is limited compared to his lethal touch. By preventing physical contact, we neutralize his primary threat. Perfecting
True.
the anti-transmogrified disinfectant is crucial. Preliminary tests on D-Class personnel by the SCP Foundation suggest that it can inhibit SCP-049's reanimation process by counteracting his anomalous abilities at the cellular level. Refining this
Interesting.
formula and ensuring its mass production would provide a biochemical method to neutralize his cures and prevent the creation of SCP-049-2 instances. Additional precautions include constant surveillance and automated defense systems to prevent unauthorized access to his cell. In the event of containment failure, non-lethal ranged weaponry should be employed to maintain distance. Under no circumstances should direct contact be made.
I think they
Deploy
use
drones
electric
equipped
shocks
with
on
the
him or something like that if he gets
anti-transmogrify
too bad.
disinfectant and magnetic restrainers. Direct human contact is to be avoided at all costs. Ultimately, the Plague Doctor may be a delusional superhuman, not unlike the inmates of Arkham Asylum, or he might represent something far more profound.
Yeah, he's very
Regardless,
old.
I cannot afford to take risks. This plan must be executed without deviation.
He also has a relationship with that damn mask, who he hates.
Contingency Plan Code, Pumpkin. Subject, Jack Skellington. Also known as
The
the
ultimate
Pumpkin King.
Halloween
He is not a master
episode.
of fright, but the master of fright. Jack resides in Halloween Town, a realm solely dedicated to the celebration of Halloween.
Nice.
As the Pumpkin King, he orchestrates the annual festivities, ensuring they embody the true essence of fear. Physically, he's an extremely tall skeleton dressed in a black pinstriped suit with a bat-shaped bow tie. Jack is immortal. His skeletal form allows him to remove and reattach his bones without harm. He can detach his head to recite Shakespearean quotations, showcasing his dramatic flair.
Nice.
His agility and flexibility are remarkable, enabling him
Yes.
to scale walls
And he,
and
as
perform
shown
acrobatic
in
feats
Kingdom
effortlessly.
Hearts, he's pretty good in a fight, too.
Once, discontent with his routine, Jack discovered a portal to Christmas Town. Infatuated by the holiday's warmth of this realm, he attempted to take over Christmas by impersonating Santa Claus. Yes, the Santa Claus. Contrary to popular belief, Santa is real. Gathering evidence on him has been a hassle due to his elusiveness.
Yes.
I theorize he's either a powerful metahuman or a wizard, possibly connected to John Constantine. Jack's well-intentioned but misguided attempt resulted in chaos.
He hasn't done Santa yet. I want to do
Misunderstanding the
Santa for
essence of
Christmas.
he delivered horror instead of joy. Ultimately, Jack realized his error and worked to set things right. He possesses abilities beyond the ordinary. In addition to immortality, he's capable of setting himself ablaze without injury. There are accounts of him wielding elemental magic, fire, ice, even lightning, though these remain unconfirmed. His mere
Kingdom
presence
Hearts.
instills fear in humans and monsters alike, earning him his nickname, Pumpkin King. Personality-wise, Jack is a gentleman and a passionate soul, or skeleton. His
a nice
curiosity
guy.
drives him to explore new experiences, but his naivety can lead to unintended consequences. He's not malevolent. Rather, he's often misguided in his pursuits.
We're just
Given
dumb.
that Jack and I both utilize fear as a tool, it's essential to acknowledge that we can play the same game. His
But he's
mastery
more of
of fright
a
rivals my own
theater
methods in
type
Gotham.
than Batman is.
However, his immortality and ability to reassemble himself render conventional containment ineffective. The use of explosives will be used against the subject. The objective is to scatter his bones, impeding his capacity to reform. Once
Rattle 'em,
disassembled,
boys!
each bone must be collected and secured in separate, distant locations to prevent reconstitution.
Dude, that's
This
fucked up.
strategy parallels the contingency for Plastic Man, though Plastic Man wouldn't be subdued by a simple grenade. I must exercise caution. Jack's dramatic tendencies may be disarming. He's capable of inducing fear on a profound level. I must not underestimate his ability to manipulate situations to his advantage. Maintaining vigilance is crucial. While incidents are rare among entities like Jack, when they occur, they can escalate rapidly. My objective is to prevent any misguided endeavors.
He hasn't
from
done Oogie
endangering
Boogie
others.
either.
In conclusion, Jack Skellington is a complex figure.
The old
Passionate
skeleton
and gentlemanly
cartoon.
skeleton with a
Damn,
flair
man,
for the
that's
dramatic.
old.
While he's not a villain in the traditional sense, his actions can have unintended consequences. Perhaps there's value in studying his methods. I might learn a few tricks from the Pumpkin King when it comes to instilling fear.
True. If he's screwing up, sometimes it's a better idea just to
Contingency
talk to him
Plan
and let him
Code.
know he's being
7
stupid.
days. Subject,
Yes.
Samara Morgan. A child born under mysterious circumstances, her biological mother attempted to drown her at birth, believing her tainted by evil. Rescued and later adopted by the Morgans, horse breeders on Musco Island, Samara displayed powerful psychic abilities, specifically Nensha, the projection of images onto surfaces and into minds. Uncontrolled, these images were disturbing, leading to insomnia, hallucinations, and madness in those around her. Her presence drove the Morgans' horses to
So,
suicide,
a typical kid.
plunging off cliffs to escape her influence. Desperate, her adoptive mother suffocated her with a plastic bag and threw her into a well. Samara survived there for 7 days before dying, her spirit consumed by rage and a desire for vengeance. In death, she created a cursed videotape imbued with her psychic energy. Anyone who watches it receives a phone call. 7 days. After that period, she emerges from any screen or reflective surface to overwhelm the victim's mind with horrifying images, causing death by sheer terror. She can target multiple victims simultaneously, appearing in different locations at once. Physical barriers, distance, even destruction of the tape, none of these stop her. Traditional weaknesses don't apply. Holy artifacts, exorcisms, physical attacks, all ineffective. Her curse...
That's because she's not exactly a ghost in the literal sense. She's more like a collection of psychic energy as opposed to, spiritual or paranormal energy like that. She's basically a psychic remnant. Kind of like the Emperor of Mankind, if you think about it. Like a piece of his soul floating out there. She's kind of like that. Also, here's a bit of a creepy-ass fun fact. The original character that she's based off of is Sadako from the Ringu book, movie, manga that's out there. Yeah, she was actually born a hermaphrodite. Yeah, she has a D. So let that sink in.
spreads as victims copy and share the tape, perpetuating her cycle of vengeance. Confronting Samara requires unconventional tactics. First, mental preparation is essential. She exploits deep-seated fears and traumas. I've faced eldritch beings and cosmic entities. My mind is conditioned to resist psychic assaults. Still,
he could probably
I must
stand up to
confront
her.
my own fears head-on, ensuring she has no leverage. Physical weapons are futile, but there are artifacts capable of affecting spiritual entities. The Sword of Sin and the Sword of Salvation, both secured in the trophy room, can harm beings on a metaphysical level. The Sword of Sin ignites with the wielder's mind, revealing the sins of its target. The Sword of Salvation exposes the reasons behind those sins. Together, they force the target to confront their guilt and motivations. By using these blades, I can turn her own tactics against her.
That's
I'll
actually the
initiate
perfect thing to
contact
use
my
on her,
terms.
though.
Acquiring every known copy of the cursed tape, I'll subject myself to her curse repeatedly. Consider it a form of binge watching. This serves two purposes: understanding the extent of her abilities and forcing her to manifest when and where I choose. When she emerges from the screen, before she fully materializes, I'll strike with the swords. If she induces nightmares, I'll make her face her own. By confronting her with the weight of her actions and the pain she's caused, I aim to disrupt her cycle of hatred. Ultimately, this isn't just about stopping a threat. Samara was a victim, a child who suffered immensely. Her death was a tragedy born from fear and misunderstanding. If someone had helped her control her powers, her life could have been different.
You think about it, it's kind of like if you ever watched Justice League Unlimited. It's kind of what happened to Ace. If you remember that. That was like one of the saddest freaking stories in all of Justice League Unlimited.
It's not her fault she couldn't control them. The goal is not just to eliminate her from this world, but to grant her the peace she was denied. By severing her ties to the mortal realm, I can free her from endless torment. She deserves that much.
Okay, so finally went through all of them. Jeez. Just in case you were wondering, that was 21 videos. Nice. Anyway, so guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. These are all really good. So, like this video, guys. Subscribe. There's only going to be one link in the description. I'm not putting 21 links in there. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I'm sorry, Multiversal Wisdom. I can't do that. That's just too much. I will put out this little call, though, to Multiversal Wisdom. As far as Halloween is concerned, you should do... He did Jack Skellington this year. He also should have done Oogie Boogie. Talking about Jack Skellington, he should have mentioned... Jack's most loyal companion, Zero, his dog. So he should have talked about that. Ookie Boogie would have been a good one. Also, Santa will be amazing if he did that for Christmas. And he should probably do the killer turkey from Thanksgiving for in November for Thanksgiving. Anyway, guys, yeah. So there's a link to one of the videos in the description. Like all the videos and subscribe to Multiversal Wisdom. Help his channel grow because he deserves so much for this shit. As you can see, these are super creative and I do love them. So I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Happy Halloween. And don't forget to check out all the other shit going on the main channel. And there's a big video waiting for you guys on the game channel. So I kind of went a lot out to this year. So hope to see you guys there. Bye-bye.